Well, hi there.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Here we go. Sarah might be here. We'll see. Got a couple of people that will come in. Nobby as well. Haven't seen Nobby for a while. Hey, hey. We're
In
just
Adelaide or
checking
what?
because what
Are
was
you
that?
over in Adelaide?
Yes. Actually out in Tanunda at the moment on a family little holiday thing. So I drove to where the cell coverage was stronger.
Well,
So
you are out in the bush there, aren't you?
that's right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we're just saying that the all the people that are in Leap in the program and the Get Obvio included as part of their Leap membership, they're all in a meeting at the moment, and so there was a little clash with this one. So we're gonna see who we got, but it's cool. We've got a few people we haven't seen for a little while. Hey Samantha, nice to see you here. Cool. So we can take some questions. If you've got anything, you can either there's only a few of us. You could probably just put it in the chat if you like, but you can post it on the dashboard. There is ask a question. We've probably Heather. We've just got Kat's question. Is that all that was there?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So we might skip that one for the moment. Um, Go with oh yeah, I haven't seen Kevin for a little while as well. That's cool. So if there was there any burning? Hey Kevin, nice to see you.
Hello, hello, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Um, so is there any burning questions or anything that you had, anyone that had specifically, or was it mostly checking in again and starting the new year off well? It's Samantha.
I'm new to Obvio. I'm a part
Mm,
of Leap, but I know they're recording that, so I really wanted to be here live.
nice.
I'm just going to have my first event on the at the end of this month, and I've decided to do a webinar in between, which I would love to host on Obvio. Just to have so everyone gets used to going to that before the
Nice.
event. I've watched some of the videos and I feel like I've kind of looked through most of the tutorials, but I'm still feeling like I don't quite know how to instruct my tech team on how to go about this. Is there a like, do we have a little video or something that might show, or something that helps me do a test event prior?
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
we'll start backwards. We can you can set your you can set the event a time window really to whatever you want, right? So there's no reason why you can't set that to today, and then be doing tests as if it was live. So of course it depends on when you've given people access or given them their login links.
Okay.
So, but let me just I can just walk through the basics now of just what is required to kind of get you in.
Perfect.
Okay.
That'd be great.
So
Thank
let me do that. Um, all right, I'm going to use this event as the example. Let me share here. Okay, get rid of some stuff here. There we go. Right. So let let's say we come to the event generally now. The event we often come. So when we've logged into the back end, so I guess I can go a step back from that. There's a couple of different ways of getting your team into Obvio. The most basic way is that they can join as an attendee, and once they're in Zoom, you promote them to be a co-host, and now they've got all the abilities to do whatever. The more advanced way, or the proper way, in a way, to have your team have all the right access, is when you look at your organization settings, or when we look at when we're looking at this at the organization, and then looking at, we can go to team here. This is where we can create roles, and we can create members, right? And so this is where you can give the scope of what someone can do, a team member could do. And so often we would create a role called admin and essentially give them full access. Often we still might say that they can't purchase add-ons, and so it depends on the team and how you're managing that. And sometimes we don't allow create events, and so that it just gives that sort of control. Now, you can, the key thing that you want a team member that is working on the day, on the main day, you want to make sure that they can start areas, they can start rooms. That's the key kind of role scope that you would want to give them to make sure that they can get that going. But let's just say that you created someone with admin. Once you've got a role set as admin, you can come to the members and add their email. Once you've added them and they've accepted that, you can then set what their role is. So in fact, I mean, you can set it there just before you send it as well. So that's how you would send to their email. They would then log in the same way that you do to app.obv.io, and when they go, they will see just this organization. They would see all of the events within the organization. And so when we're looking at these ones, this is today's one that's live at the moment. And so they'll click on that, and depending on what the scope of the role that you gave them for that role is, what they will see here. And so at that point, they would then go to Zoom areas, and assuming that we've got the dashboard set up correctly, let me just step over that, just make sure we've got all the ducks in a row. So the key thing when we're looking at the dashboard is that you have a button that is joining the call, or join the main stage, or whatever you want to call that, that you have that set, and we just double check that it's going to an area, and this one's going to main stage on this call. So great, we've got a button, we've got attendees. The attendees have a way of getting in. So Samantha, is this one a free? It's a free webinar that you're doing?
Yeah, so webinar will be free, and then the 3-day event is much like most of the other ones. Thank you.
And they've signed up. They're signing up to come to this free event, and you're doing
Yes,
that
please.
separate. You're doing that in a separate system for them.
Yes,
to
I
sign
believe
up?
I'll keep that in Kajabi, which is where I do all my work now. Register them there, and then for the paid event, I'll accept payment there, and then send them the login info.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Cool. And so once they have that, they have their login link, they can come straight to the dashboard, and then you're going to have a button there. Now, what you can do in your testing phase, even if you had given everyone access to the login link, so if we think about that, what it means is you want to do some testing. You want to test what it's like for your team to start it up and to get Zoom going and doing all of that. But you don't want attendees to be able to access that at that point, right? Now, you might want to test the button at some point and maybe open that window briefly. But what you're doing there is controlling the area. So I've just gone into main stage and I've got our area is open, which means that an area is one or more Zoom meetings. And so we have a Zoom meeting here. There's one Zoom meeting in this area. The reason that we have areas is that for larger events, you can have multiple Zoom meetings. So that's how you scale past 1,000 people or maybe 500-600 people. You might want to go into multiple meetings. Now you've got it's more complex from a audio and video point of view, but it's the way that we manage how we have separate Zoom meetings. We have a bundle of them, a collection of them that are sitting in an area. And so when you have an area open, the system's then looking for active Zoom meetings. Once there's an active Zoom meeting, it'll assign the people to that meeting and the way they go in. When the area is closed, they'll get an offline message, this offline text. And you can set that to say, you know, you could put a custom message there that is saying that the event starts at this time, or you know, the Zoom meeting or the event will you know, the pre-event will start 30 minutes before, or whatever you want to say in that. So in your testing, you can just keep this closed so that if someone stumbles across or they start poking around, you know, hours or days before, depending on when you've given the login link, they won't be able to just stumble into your testing that you might be doing at that time. So you would keep this closed. You would come down to the room, and then this is all assuming that you have the Zoom area set up. I feel like I take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back in this little demo. But had you not have had that set up, then you would create a new area, right? And what this does is it creates a Zoom area, and it also creates its first Zoom room, right? So there's a Zoom meeting that's there. So this is a good example of what it looks like when you come to the Zoom area and you say, okay, I would like to test it now. So at the moment, I've got it closed. The area is closed. I want to open the room. So this initiates the Zoom meeting. And then we hit start. And this will start the Zoom meeting as a host. And you'll be the host. So whoever starts this first, and you won't see this because it's Zoom sharing back on itself. But that has just started a Zoom meeting for me. And so that's all ready to go. So it was whoever of your team started that first would start, and then anyone else of your team members, if there was 2 or 3 or whoever else needs access to that, they can do it the same way. It'll be join if it's started. If it's already started, it becomes join, and they will join as co-host. So first person host, every subsequent person that joins will be a co-host. And that's one of the advantages of giving proper team access to people, is that no matter what happens on their end, they get disconnected, or they want to join from another computer. If they have this team access, then they're able to join as a co-host every time. The host doesn't have to give them that access. They will always be the co-host. So that gives them the right access.
Can I ask a quick question about that one specific thing? Does it have to be
Yeah.
So in the team members, because there's different levels, what is the minimum they have to make sure they're co-host every time?
In the team, it is just that they can start as the Zoom meeting. So if we look at the roles, it's just start rooms. If they can start a room, then they can join as a co-host.
Great. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yep. So then it's just if they had joined first, they'll be host. If they're second or more, then they are co-host. So, here back. So once they're in, now ideally, Samantha, you would join in the same way, and so that you're also a co-host or host, depending on if you started it first. And now you're all set. The only thing that you would be doing differently is once you're all happy, and we often do 2 hours before our show starts, we get our Zoom meeting going, and we've got everything working and we're happy with how it's all going. Once we're happy to allow attendees in, all we do is we need to toggle that open area. Once we toggle that, now people will flow in. And it's good to, you can do a test of that as well, just to be sure you've got that clicked, and you click on a or open an attendees view, and then follow the button and see that it works all that way. So the event settings here in the time, start date and end time is what I was talking about before. The only real impact that this time has, this window, is on using Zoom. And so your dashboard is accessible before, during, and after that window. That doesn't affect that at all. It's just using Zoom. So we're still looking at changing this around a little bit, but it's a bit of a legacy thing that we had here when we were doing a different system with credits. Now it's unlimited use, Zoom Unlimited. Before it was a bit limited, and so this meant a lot more. And we had a test mode and things. So if you are sitting outside of this time and you go to launch Zoom, it'll talk to you about test mode and what test mode means and things. It'll be much easier for you to just be within this time window, and then everything's working as it should. So does that cover it a bit more, Samantha? Does that?
It definitely helps. And I'm going to go back and watch this and write up kind of a, best practices sort of thing. So I had asked in the chat here if you said to go into attendee mode, does that mean I will sign up as an attendee as well, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I would come in here and I would open. So now I'm logging in as that person, right? And so it's opening. So you could either get this login link, or open it on another computer, or whatever, depending on how extensive your testing wants to be. But you could take that one, and then you would hit join the call, and away it would go. It would step through, and it would get you into Zoom, and then you'd know everything's all working great.
So as long as I can get into Zoom as that attendee and as the host, then we're good. As long as everything on the back end is set up correctly. Okay.
Exactly.
And I'm planning on having like a VIP room and just a regular, general admission room. Do I need, what do you think with that?
Okay. And so that's great. So does your tech team have the facility to have sort of multiple computers that are doing that?
The VIP will be before the event. Like everyone will come in the same room for the event. And then I'm thinking, it's because I have an upsell for the VIP. It'd be, you can come early. We might do, getting to know you kind of thing. And then we have a mocktail hour after one of them. And then there'll be a special Q&A session for just those that paid for the VIP upgrade.
Okay. So you're really only ever doing one Zoom meeting at once? Is that
Pretty
kind of the
much.
thing?
Yeah, like they might be mingling, in the VIP
Yeah.
room, so to speak, but yeah,
Yeah.
one
So
meeting.
yeah. So that's all you just have to consider when you do multiple meetings is how it's one thing, how do you get all your attendees in, right? And Obvio is primarily about attendee management, right? Like it's the Zoom subscription, it's all of that, it's all handled, and we're getting our attendees into Zoom, but how do you get yourself into those Zooms, right? And that's where the tech team comes in. The fact that you even have one is great, and so you're thinking about all of that. Uh, and so now it's how do I get my own audio and video into that meeting as well? And if I have multiple meetings, it could be that you're moving from your main event and then now you're leaving those people there and you're going off to the VIP event, and that's just a matter of you moving yourself around. That's fine. Or your tech team is doing that. So it just depends. There's some really advanced ways of doing that with managing multiple meetings, and particularly, as I was saying, when we're doing large events where we need to have multiple Zoom meetings just for the numbers. Well, now it's a different way of sending the audio and video into each one of those, and that becomes a hardware, and that's a production thing. So we do that all the time, and lots of people do it in different ways. But it's important to know that Obvio is not doing anything to manage how you're getting in your audio and video into Zoom. Obvio doesn't do anything in relation to audio and video, right? And so, so that in that way, it's like any other Zoom meeting. It comes down to your computer at that point. So,
Excellent. Thank you. I appreciate having all that in one place and that you
yeah,
walked me
sure.
through it and showed me the back end. And I'm sure everyone else who's kind of in the same boat appreciates that too. So thank you.
Yeah, no problems at all. Now, I think there was a couple of questions or something that happened there. Or Kevin's got his hand raised as well. Kevin, did you have a question related to that? You just need to unmute.
Sorry, there you go. I unmuted.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's definitely in relation to what she was just talking about.
Yeah.
I had an event on the 29th, and it was just a test event. It was just had some family members get together. I wasn't sure how many people was going to come in. Working with Money, I tried to set everything up. Money, believe me, I did everything like you showed me. I was reviewing our recordings back to back, and I had a couple of little issues. The first one was if you look at the event, everybody, it looks good. People went in, so family members would go in and they were able to get to the dashboard. The problem is they couldn't get into the event, to the show. It was said it is not started. So I did not figure out, I couldn't figure out how to actually start the event, how to start the actual Zoom. Okay. So it showed the event was not open. I think it said it wasn't open, or the room wasn't open.
Yeah, it's probably the area wasn't open potentially. So you had started the Zoom meeting.
Well, I thought I started the Zoom because I went in and I did the steps exactly like you said. I opened up I'll look at it right now. I can get another screen. I went to.
It might have
I
been
went in online to the event and I started the event. I went to the attendees, not the attendees. I went to the area.
Yep.
I went to what I have is called the main stage. I opened the room. I opened the area, and I also started the event. But Zoom didn't come up. I don't remember seeing Zoom come up at all where I needed to, let people in. And I was like, wait a minute, why didn't Zoom come up? Maybe Zoom is up already.
Okay.
And then on my phone, because I was doing it by my phone. I was having people contact me on my phone to see if they couldn't get in, and they were a few people got into the place where they could get to the dashboard, and they could see what I had set up. I had just videos playing on two Christmas videos playing on it. They could play on there while it opened.
Okay.
They can get there, but they could not get into the Zoom. So I ended up saying, okay, scrap it all. I had my own Zoom account. So I said, okay, here, I went and created a Zoom event on my own personal one. And then I sent them that, and we got on and we did. It was only about 5 people total anyway. I wasn't sure how many people was going to show up, but it was just about 5 people. And we got on and we talked for about an hour and 2 hours. So it was good that we did that. And it was good for me to test it out, but kind of a failure.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's good. It's good that you've got that test behind you, because you didn't do that on a live event. I think your first problem was that you asked Muddy, and so I think that's.
Oh no!
Happy New Year, Muddy. Nice bit of throw some shade at Muddy, nice and early in the new year. Not at all. Not at all. Muddy would have. Oh, he's out. He's done. He's like, I don't need this. I didn't need this in this early year. No. So the key thing there is that you weren't in Zoom, right? If you couldn't see Zoom, then no matter having all those steps in place, having the room was open, and maybe you had hit start, but what that does is then initiates a couple of steps that it's then trying to launch the Zoom meeting, and there might have even been a permission window that was saying, your browser is wanting to open Zoom. Are you okay with that? And maybe that got hidden away from somewhere, and now you couldn't see that it was asking to launch Zoom. And so because Zoom wasn't launched, even though the area was open and that the room was opened, it was started, or it was opened, it was initiated.
Right.
Zoom wasn't actually active at the time, which means that everyone will get an offline message, because it's Obvio's looking for that to send the attendees into. It wants to know that the Zoom meeting is online and has a host in it.
Bless you.
If it doesn't have a host in it, it's going to say it's offline.
Yeah, so I'm a little confused, because I went back, of course, and looked at it and said, I tried to figure out where it was. Can I bring it up? I don't know if we have time. Can I bring it up? Share screen so you can take a look at it?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do this.
But you won't be able to join Zoom while you're on
Right.
Zoom. This FYI.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I won't be able to join. No, I won't be able.
We should see it asking you to join Zoom. And of course, your screen share doesn't share Zoom related interfaces and things, but
Can you not see the screen?
Yeah, I can see that. Yep. So if you go to Zoom areas, yep.
So in Zoom areas, you can see I was main stage.
Yep.
And I clicked here. Well, not click here. This.
Okay, you can. Yep.
Back up. Let me back up. Let's say it this way. When I went to Zooms and look at statistics, I could see that at least 6 people checked in. Okay. Yep. So it looks like they got to the point where they needed to be. And
yeah, that means that they got to the dashboard.
So they got to the dashboard. And then to click the check-in space, I don't know what I did wrong here, because I had the area open. As you can tell, it's still open. I did the room and I joined. So I believe I was there, but it doesn't look like Zoom actually came up.
Okay. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So that's, it does. And that's what's important, to follow those, the steps that then happens once you hit start, is that it's going to go to Zoom to initiate, and that's going to say, are you happy to launch Zoom? It'll bring up a little window to launch Zoom. And if that doesn't happen, then Zoom hasn't started, and you're not sitting in Zoom, then it hasn't begun.
And I believe that part didn't happen. But the other curious part for me is how do I find recordings? Where's recordings?
Yeah, so click on the one.
Oh,
click on the one
that's
for
right.
the Zoom. Get there, and the one for the Zoom meeting that you
One
want.
for the
Yeah,
Zoom.
that
So
one,
when I go
and
to
then
the recording, there is a
Yep.
recording of this, and it will play. You know what I mean? So something recorded. So it looks like I did get in the Zoom somewhere. I just could not find out where. And I had this was my pre-show, not my pre-show stuff. I would have playing in that going on in the background, and then once the time ran up, I would open up the curtains.
Nice. What time was your event, or what time did you have people trying to join?
The event was supposed to start at 7:00. So I started at 6:30. I started enough time, try to give myself enough time so I can get in and get my grounding together. Oh, wait a minute. It ended at 7. Could that be it?
Yeah. That's what I was wondering.
If I went to event, will it still show the time that I had? Well, no, because I had the event end that same day, but it was ending at 8:00. I didn't change anything else here. I put it down at 5:00. And
so the fact that so I'm guessing that your family were contacting you after 7:03.
Right. After 7:03, they started contacting me. So they couldn't get in.
Right. It seems to me like it was stopped. Now, the recording, you could have stopped the recording at 7:03 and the event was still going. The Zoom meeting was still going.
How could I have stopped the recordings?
In Zoom, you can just press stop record. So that's one explanation for why that recording would be 7:03. It would have stopped. Okay. Or what I think is more likely is that Zoom was closed. You had closed Zoom at 7:03, and now people can't join because the Zoom meeting is not. Yeah, I think that's probably what had happened.
So how would I open? So from here, I thought I did to open up Zoom. I again went to.
It looks like you did everything right.
Right. I went to the Zoom area. I went to the main stage. I went, open up this first, and I open up this so everybody can get in. I open up this first, the open room, so I can get in.
Yep. And you started it. Yep.
Then I open up the area so everybody else can get in.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I think you might have accidentally closed Zoom. That's my guess. Did he just leave? How ironic.
Oh, how funny.
Well, I think we're talking about him accidentally closing Zoom, and he just accidentally closed Zoom.
I think you actually closed Zoom. What?
I think you did.
You actually just accidentally closed the Zoom, and then
he took it as a directive.
I'm listening to you guys and going, yeah, that's got to be it, because it doesn't make any sense.
Must be. Yep. Cool. Samantha.
Thank you, and that was so helpful. So thank you to everybody for having that question. And I love all this is going to be in one recording, so I can let my team know, hey, go watch this one. But what I'm wondering now, setting up for the future, I plan on doing quarterly webinars, quarterly events. Do I set this up like once and then just clone it every time I do one? Or is it best to have, let's say, one webinar and then I just open it, give it updated dates and times each time? I'm wondering for statistics and analytics and junk like that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there's lots of overlap there, right? So you can achieve it in both ways.
Okay.
And so really it's often about attendee management, and as you said about statistics. So if the event, so let's just take it in the two different ways. If you were to do it as separate events, you can duplicate events each time. So if you had basically the same dashboard and same settings and things like that, you can duplicate your event and you can just make a unique event each time. And now, depending on how you're setting it up with Kajabi, if that's, have you been doing that as a Kajabi is through Zapier, and so you haven't been doing that. No,
I haven't
there's
connected
no
those
automation.
two.
No,
Yeah, they're
no,
like
okay.
different worlds in my world, but I
Yeah.
eventually will.
So there would be some process that you'd be doing for getting people their login link, right?
Okay.
And you would do that each time because the login link would be unique each time.
Okay.
So it depends. It depends a lot on the journey of the attendee,
Okay.
and if there's an advantage. If often just having the same event is totally fine. You can set your event window to 6 months or whatever it is. Just like this event that we do, it's exactly the same every week, and we just come back in and we start it, and it's the same. When it comes to statistics, we can look at the Zoom attendance, and we can get exports of when people attended. And so then you can really see exactly, okay, they came this week, but then they skipped a week, and then they came the third week. And you can do that all within that one event, and that can actually make it quite easy. So there's a lot of overlap. You can see that, it just depends. Sometimes you want a different experience for each time you're doing it, and you want to have a different login, and you want to have it very segmented for each time they come. If you don't need that, then just have it as the same event and let them come multiple times. And another advantage with that particularly is that they could access any one of their emails and it'll be the same link every time. And there isn't, that can be helpful, because it's surprising how much people will do it where they'll go to their email, they'll search for Samantha, they'll be like, okay, and here it is, and they find an old one, and we have that all the time. People are like, I'm in the event, and you're like, you're in the old event. So it sounds like just keeping it as the same event will work fine for you.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah. So Kevin,
Yes.
listen here.
Sorry about that. I don't.
What
Zoom crashed.
What
on
just happened?
I don't know.
Did it?
Zoom just froze up. Everything just froze. I don't know what happened. It just froze.
So exactly that same thing could
Probably
have
what
happened.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been. It could have been. But now, as I was thinking about it, because people were having problems getting in, and I tried to open up, 30 minutes beforehand to give everybody the opportunity to get in. They couldn't get in. I was like, okay, well, I got to do something. Let me go into my own personal Zoom, and I created a meeting for everyone, and then I gave them that link, and then I started Zoom there. And to start
That's
that,
what happened. That's
you
what
have
happened.
to end the other Zoom.
Yeah, you had to end it, and so that's when it stopped the recording.
So that's when it stopped recording, because I had to, and then the other one, then everybody was able to come in, and I started letting them come in, but I couldn't know what happened first that wouldn't allow them to come in when I opened it up at 6 o'clock or 6:30 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So all I can say is what the steps are. I think it's interesting too that your internet is a little unstable right now too, which is possibly not helping.
It is,
so you're
it's really
freezing up.
unstable. Well,
Yeah.
because it froze up. Yeah.
Yeah. So that wouldn't help either. But the steps are, and I think you understand the steps appropriately, and that was having an area that's open, having a room that's open, and having a host in the Zoom. is what it's looking for, and the button, making sure that the button on the dashboard is pointing to the right Zoom area. As long as all those things are in place, and you're within the window of the event time, start and end time. As long as all those things are in place, then they will get into Zoom. So,
other than that, there was only
Yeah.
one other thing that was just a little glitch for me. I was trying to include Maestro. I have the Maestro already set up for the one account, but because this one was brand new, I was trying to set up Maestro. You know how, Muddy, you showed me that to add that, how to add Maestro into Avio. Even in my account now, you can look at it. It does say that I'd have an Avio, Kevin Maestro, that I would have for the Avio account, but I couldn't link it the correct way because I couldn't get, because Zoom wasn't open. Instead of, you know how you have to create that special link before you actually join, it didn't give me that opportunity to do that. It only just let me just join right in.
Yeah, go, Matty.
Yeah, so what Kevin is referring to is a special system that allows, like, that whole thing he had with the curtains going, and there's the way that works is to have a separate user called Maestro in the meeting, and that's Kevin, that's actually using the speaker link. So you'll use the speaker link for Maestro, and the speaker link is created in Obvio before you ever get to Zoom. So it sounds like there were a couple of things potentially happening that were causing some barriers for that. But the speaker link is the thing you want, and that's found. You were showing it earlier when you went into the area, and then you clicked on the number 1, which took you down to the room level.
Mhm.
That's where the speaker link is found for that room. But in any case, it sounds like, and happy to find a time to jump on a call and let you test, because I know that when we worked together, we ran through these, and you were able to get it at that point. And the recording shows that you were in there at some point as well. So it's perhaps like, the Zoom window got lost behind other windows, and then you didn't know you were in Zoom, but you were. And so why other people couldn't get in, I'm not exactly sure. But one of the questions I put in the chat as well for Grant to address is the start and end times. You had those at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., like right up against the actual start and end times. And there's no need to do that in Avio. I usually add plus or minus 2 days to the start and end time, just so that I know I can get in there ahead of time and test in the same kind of environment I'm going to be in for the event. And so, because if the time zone is off and you put 8 p.m., then 7 p.m. Central, whatever, like it could very easily shut down Zoom or make Zoom not available. And that's adding, other factors that don't need to be that tight. So, one recommendation, at least from what I saw, is increasing your start and end times by a day or two on either side. But happy to reconnect and run through it again and see if we can get it going for you. Sorry you had that trouble. And good thinking, spinning up Zoom to get people in and, get on with the show.
That was good for the recording because he just dropped out again.
Yep, I just got back into my phone. My computer is showing in the state of it's just turning right now. I don't know what's going on with that. So more than likely it had to be my computer stuff.
Hey, real quickly, Kevin, are you, when you're doing this, are you connected direct or are you doing Wi-Fi?
No, I'm correcting direct with that. On my phone, I'm on Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything's wired.
You were going in and out earlier, so I thought, if you at the event, well, during the event, not now, but at the event, you make sure you are hard connected. There's just so much happening with Zoom, and I always am hard connected. It's like a thing. So
yeah.
keep that in mind. Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, what time zone are you in?
East Coast.
Okay, you are Eastern. Okay. that's good. Yeah, we're just talking about the event start and end time, and so that was the specifics of those times could have been causing a bit of an issue for you, depending on. Yeah, it's possible that test mode was enabled at that point, and that would cause a problem too. So. So it's much better to, Muddy just said this, but you missed it, and that was it's much better to have a lot of that window to be very wide, and so to add a couple of days before and a couple of days afterwards, because it's how Zoom is working. So there is a possibility that when you launched Zoom, it was still in a test mode because it thought that it was outside of that time. And that can also happen if you had your browser open before it was in that time.
I did trying to test everything beforehand to make sure. So I'd had the browser. Of course, I had a couple of different browsers open. So,
Yeah, so that's a possibility too. But anyway, it's all good learning, right? So it's good that you still got your family, you still got to have a conversation and work all that out. But this is good stuff to know, because preparation is key with all of this. You can't do enough preparation. And the worst thing that we can do is not allow ourselves enough time to be really prepared. What I'm always planning to be is I want to be 100% show ready an hour before the show starts. So in order for me to do that, I'm often getting ready 2 hours or 3 hours or even 4 hours before. Sometimes on our larger events, we'll be meeting and starting up, and we call it -4. Okay, we're doing -4 on day 1, and then we can do -2 on day 2. That sort of thing. And so it means that ideally 90 minutes before, an hour before, you're doing slight little tweaks and checks, and double checking some things, but you're actually completely show ready. And so that's when you pick up the tiny little things. The 2 hours before, 3 hours before, you're getting all the things in place and everything's all good. But if you're 100% ready 60 minutes before your show starts, you're and I'm just talking even just from a tech team point of view, it means that you've got time to be mentally checking through things, and even ideally checking through a checklist of, okay, we've got all these things in place. Are we sure the emails are set up to go out on time? Are they, because we all know what it's like. You think, oh yeah, I'll get on like 20 minutes, before, 15 minutes before, I'll just get things going, and you totally run out of time, and then it's just cascading, it's like this snowball of problems that you're just like, I now haven't got time, and now I've got people contacting me, and now you're troubleshooting people that you're trying to help people who have trouble technically anyway.
Right.
Right. You haven't got any time to help them, work through where their mouse is. I can't turn my monitor on. I don't know how to join the event, things like that.
Yeah.
You want to have time for that sort of stuff. So I can't stress enough. And this is also on top of a week before, or, at least a day or 2 days before, you're doing a full test. All testing the whole system, checking everything, and checking the emails are working, and all of those systems are all in place, so that when you get to the day of the event, you're very well prepared. And this is the thing, is that no matter how good our technology is, technology does some wacky things at times, and you need to have time up your sleeve to just be like, this computer needs, to be restarted. I mean, that would be another thing I'd put on my checklist, is restarting all your computers before you start your event, right? It's a simple thing, but it really helps. So everything's all restarted and you're testing everything, but having an allowance for things that are unexpected. unexpected little issues that something crops up, you want to have time for that. So anyway, enough of that on my soapbox. Kat. So
Okay.
can I just say, can I just say firstly, hello, Kat, Happy New Year. And that last week, you had a bunch of questions in, and I actually went through. We had one person with us on the call. Heather and I had one person with us, but I thought, okay, how about I just go through and answer all of Kat's questions anyway? And so I did.
Okay.
I spent sort of half an hour answering your questions.
Well, thank you. Was it
But
recorded?
it was recorded, but the problem was that the person that we had with us dived into some confidential information, and which means that I need to edit the recording, and so that I had to take some of that out, and I haven't been able to do that. I could do that today.
Well, I think I've solved a lot of them.
Okay,
There's
good.
just a few remaining that are kind of
Sure.
critical.
Great.
One is this font problem. It looks when I set it up, it looks like it's in Poppins. When I go to preview, it shows up in Times. And I've tried everything that Muddy has recommended, and it just doesn't shift.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, I can. Love to.
Let's have a look at it and see what's going on there.
Yeah. One moment. Let's see. Got it all set up to share, but why is this not? Here we go. Share. Here we go. Share. Okay. So here we are. So for example, on the purchase page, let's go there first. Purchase page. So here you can see it looks like it's in Poppins. Then as soon as I put it into preview, I'll just show, see, everything looks like beautiful Poppins. We're good to go. Then I put it in preview and it arbitrarily decides to show up as this.
And that, yeah.
And it's random, like this part here will be Poppins and that's not, and that's not, and that is. And I tried to go back and figure out if there was something with the sequence that I did it in. All of this is, I've reconfigured this dozens of times and it all shows up in something other than Poppins.
Yeah, okay. I wonder, I think this is often the case, is that what I need is the dev team to have a little look at what specifically is happening here.
Good
and
news.
Then sometimes we think there's a, say that again?
I have good news. I think it's only the preview view. So I just went into Kat's event as Kat, and the dashboard looks fine as a real attendee. So you might walk her through how to do that.
Yeah, as in looking at it not in preview?
Correct. Not looking at it in preview.
Yeah, if you remove preview from the address there, see that in the URL there? Yeah. If you just remove preview.
Do I leave the /?
It's okay, you can either way.
It still has the same appearance to me.
Is that what you were saying, Muddy, or you were looking at the dashboard?
No, I went into attendees. Went into an actual attendee. There's one attendee in the event, which is Kat, and opened the logged into the dashboard as Cat, and it looks fine
But
to me.
this is
So I wasn't on the purchase page. I was on the
but
dashboard.
this is marketplace. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is
Yeah, my bad.
marketplace.
My bad.
No, you're right.
And I think the same thing happens with the thank you page. So I just took all verbiage out and just left an image.
Right.
And the dashboard, as Muddy was saying, looks this way. And then when I go to preview,
Are you saying the dashboard does the same thing?
yes, here's preview. Oh, okay. Maybe somehow I fixed that. Okay. That part I guess is working. So it's just on the purchase page then.
Yeah.
And I am
Yeah,
getting
so-
the same experience on the sales page for the live sales page.
Right. Yeah. So what can happen is there can be font. There can be font descriptors that are in that text that are, depending on how it was copied in sometimes. And that's being ignored in the editor, but not in the preview, and not in the main. And that's what I think that our devs need to have a look at. So it's possible sometimes to often I paste as plain text, or I go to like text edit first, and I bring all of my text in as plain text.
So let's just take this statement. What's next? What should I do differently? I go to styling.
So
right?
did you just type that in? You would have, I guess.
Did, yeah.
Okay.
Probably what I did on this, I think, is that I used the template for the purchase page.
Yeah, okay.
And then I just adjusted whatever was there to words that I wanted.
Just as a little test, if you just to select all and delete that. Select
all.
Oh, sorry, just like in the text box.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Right. And then just type it in again. I don't think this is going to make any difference, but I'm interested. Cool. We'll save that.
So really want to participate.
Oh, you can't see. You got Zoom in front of it or something. There we go. Yeah. Okay, and now we preview that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's definitely an issue there. Let me. Okay, that's odd. So, Muddy, you said that you're getting it in times as well when you're looking at it?
Yeah, I'm getting it in times in the live marketplace page.
Oh, that's weird because I'm not. Let me just show you, Kat.
Should I stop sharing?
That's okay. I'll just go over it. Whoops. There we go. Look at that.
Gosh. Why is it working for you?
So.
Was she cached maybe? Maybe she was
Yeah, there can be some cache there, but that's not.
I've cleared the cache several times.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But
And
even these
see-
ones, right? They're
Yeah,
like,
see, there's still some that are remaining like that.
yeah. L- Let me get the guys looking at it, because something's not quite right there. I'm sorry you've had so much trouble with it. You've probably been pulling your hair out like it looks fine and
I'm,
fine, and now it's not. Yeah.
it's like the Harry Potter invisibility cloak. Wait, and then I
Where's
have
it gone?
2 other quick questions. And Heather, is there something
Yes.
pressing you need to get to in a hurry?
No, I just have one question. Go ahead, Kat.
Okay. So let me share once again if I could. I'm trying to insert a video right here, and
Okay.
I am not being successful with that yet. Right here.
Okay. Where
I'm not
what's
sure
the issue
how
you're coming against? Or you
well, I guess
can't see how to do it?
when
Hey,
I
Kat,
go, yeah,
I just noticed the block that you have right there is an image block right now.
yeah.
So Grant, you can talk us through how to add a video
Yeah,
block
that one.
instead of an image.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought I added a video and I added an image. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
then go ahead.
yeah, do you want to fix that now, or you know
Yes,
how to do that?
yes. Yeah,
Okay,
let's
yeah.
go ahead and do it quick.
So go back to there's the tab there that's open, your left tab that's the editor. That's it. That's the one. Yep. Up there. Up. Or you can close this one. So
Yep.
yeah, there we go. There we go.
There.
All right. So now below what's next,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you've got that there. So you can,
These are the words that go there. And
okay, cool.
where I wanted it was to be here. This.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we're gonna add a block. Hang on, where have you got that there? Cool. There we go. Yeah.
How do I make
Now,
it be here?
yeah, you can drag it up or you can push it. You
Oh,
can, yeah. So see the 2 lines,
yes.
2 horizontal lines. Yeah, just
Got
drag.
it.
That's it. There you go.
Okay. Hmm.
You may
Okay.
find it.
Now I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now,
So
yeah.
this is the code. Let's see, where did that go? The code is right here. It's in that's the piece right here. Can I
Okay.
edit it that way?
No.
Okay, I have to upload it.
Yeah, you need to upload it to YouTube or Vimeo or somewhere to host it for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do
Yeah.
that on my own
Yeah.
then. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is this. We're gonna be there are 13 speakers. They're gonna go in today and register. And
Mhm.
then tomorrow, after we get all these glitches fixed, I'm gonna open up the ticket for guests. And my question is, how do I send them just the link to the purchase page, or how does
Mhm.
that work?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a link to the purchase page. Exactly.
So here's the purchase page. Where do I find that link?
Yeah. So, what did you decide with your tickets? Are you
Yeah. So we're gonna run it through a platform called Pop-Up. So here's the tickets. Here's the tickets. It's free to the speakers. Here's the details. This is what it looks like. Sorry. So that's what it looks like. And then, so if I confirm the purchase, I'd have to put my information in there. And then they would get a link, or how does that work exactly?
So,
So should I put
you,
details in for me now to
well,
test?
so are you not selling tickets through Obvio at all?
It's a free event.
Okay.
And yes, the purchase page is from Obvio. And then I want to link it when they go on the dashboard. I want to link it to, in fact, I have already linked it, and we can test to see if it's right. Join us here now. And this is where they actually go when they click on the join us here now to pop up.
Oh, okay. So you're not using Zoom.
No,
So what's your advantage to using Obvio?
well, just because it's a place where I can give them all of the speakers' bios. It shows the agenda, the timing,
Okay.
the countdown clock, all the good stuff that
Okay.
Obvio.
Okay. And so how is an attendee signing up to your event?
Yeah, they're gonna go to that's my question, is how do I get them this purchase page?
They don't need to purchase though, right?
No, but I want them to register. So they would go here to register. I mean,
And because you want all their data?
yes.
Okay.
So they
S-
go here and complete that.
So you've got a speaker. Do you have, when you go to tickets,
Mm-hmm.
if you go to
There are two
tickets there, have
different
you,
tickets. Next is the ticket for guests, and
okay,
speaker is for the speakers.
okay. So you need to, so you would use see the little copy next to the slug there? You copy, nope, over,
Here.
yep, that's right. So you've got speaker and then you've got a little copy button.
Yep.
Nope. So just go back for a second.
Go
Go back.
back.
Yep.
A moment.
So those all go back.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. So sorry, just over to the right, the next column over.
Yep.
Yeah. So see that? If you copy that,
Oh,
that's
okay.
now your link. You could open a new
Okay.
tab and have a look at that if you wish.
Okay.
That'll be your link for your speakers, and then you do the same for the next.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Mhm.
Okay. So that will take them to be able to see the purchase page.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Thank you very much. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so then the speakers will see that one, and then the next
The
ticket.
next, I would go to next, right? Just
Yeah.
take out
Yeah.
speaker and put in next.
Probably, yeah. As long as you've got it, yeah, spelled that way.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
So
And
just double check. Has that worked? Has that got next down the bottom?
I haven't made the next ticket live yet.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Great.
I think those are the biggest things. Will you let me know if they figure out the,
Yes.
okay.
Let me make a note of that now. Mm-mm-mm.
I just don't understand why it would show in Poppins for you and show in Times New Roman for me.
Yeah, it's very weird.
And then I'm not able to even scroll down to even change this or take it off. I'll show you what I mean by that. When I go to the purchase page, I can't actually get to here. I can't get any farther down. And I'm wondering how I do that. Do you see what I mean? I
As in
can't get,
there's more text?
yeah, I can't actually get there to
So you
adjust
can
it.
just you can expand the
Oh, I go
yeah,
down.
that's it. There you go. Yep.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hmm.
Excellent. You've been super helpful.
No problems. Oh, I'm glad. And I'm sorry you're having this little font issue. I'm just making it. I'm contacting Dev now. Place.
Kat, when you get a moment, can you go back to your list of tickets?
Yeah.
Oh, Justin's here. Hello, Justin.
I did sneak in.
Happy
Hey,
New Year.
Justin.
So one of the things I would do here is if you look all the way on the right of that next column, you'll see a little eye icon.
Yes.
So the eye says I want to make that in the listing. So I would click on the one for the speaker and take it off the listing. So if someone goes to the default sales page, they'll only see the next ticket. Because really you don't want to, you can just send them to the actual sales page for the next. The speakers need their own link because you want only speakers to ever see that.
Spot on.
So if you click the little eye.
At which one? Next or
the bottom
speak?
one? The bottom one.
Okay. Click on that.
Yep. Click on that so it'll go gray. Should be able to click on it.
It doesn't seem to want to gray out. I did make that ticket live. Should I change that?
So click on the three dots. So if you go all the way to the right, click and say toggle hidden.
Toggle hidden.
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
So,
and
then you do need to turn on your next ticket at some point. So it's on your sales page because right now you don't have any tickets available.
right. So let me see if I understand this. Today, when I'm sending it to the speakers, I should open that. And
no,
then
you
afterward,
always want that closed.
oh, okay. Well,
so
how,
for the top one, go ahead and click on the three dots and say toggle active.
okay.
And then you remember the link that Grant had you go to with the little copy button next to speaker?
Yes.
That's the one you're going to send to all of the speakers.
Okay.
For everybody else that's not a speaker, if you go to the purchase page,
Yep.
we're going to grab the actual link for the purchase page itself. And so you'll see a little copy button next to the preview.
Here?
Yep. So if you copy that and then open up a new URL or new tab.
Wow.
And this will be the purchase page that will have all the tickets for the general public.
Okay.
And so if you decided to add something besides next and wanted more ticket types,
Okay.
you could put more ticket types in there for the general public.
Okay, that's super helpful. At first, I was going to have a speaker, a ticket type for each speaker, but we decided to simplify it. So I eliminated all of that.
Definitely simplify.
Yeah, I definitely want to simplify as much as possible. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate this. I think I have enough to get me through to, is our next session on Wednesday?
Yeah, it is.
Yep. The other thing you can do since we're on your purchase page is if you scroll down to your order form, you can actually change the text for the button. So instead of saying register for $0, if you roll over your order form and then you click the little blue cog,
here
there should be an yep. I think there should be an option to change the button possibly in here. If not, you might have to you're gonna have to resize the form. Part of your form's hidden, unfortunately. So click save.
Okay.
And then same way you resized before. Yep, just.
Oh gosh. Thank you.
Very good. Now if you roll over the purchase button,
and
you can change
what
what that text actually says.
What would you say there instead?
Like register for TEDx Fail, or submit your registration,
for free, or
anything besides purchase.
Get your free registration. Get your free seat.
Claim your seat.
Claim your seat. Grab your seat.
Okay, thank you guys.
So I got a quick question. It's pretty easy.
Welcome.
Actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I want to connect a event with winter, you know what I'm talking about, a event. I'm on the I guess the pro, I'm not on the enterprise. Do I have to have the enterprise to connect to a event so that it will do automatic push through?
Yes, I believe so.
Are you making that
Let
change?
me
Is that a request I
double
can make?
check that to get it on, to have it on Pro. You're saying?
It's only for it's for one event. It's not for, I mean, I'm sure it's on
Right.
account level, but I am just saying it's for one quote unquote event. Yeah. I'm setting that up this month and wanted to see if it's possible to get it on without going to enterprise. Because if not, I'm gonna have to go get another. And I have my own private Zoom account, and then I have you guys. And he's like, "You need to get another Zoom account." I'm like, "Man, Jesus!" So trying not to pay for another Zoom account when now that's like 3, which is a little. So or make a request.
Yeah,
like,
maybe. Yeah. It's, yeah, I'm pretty sure we double checked this, but so, send it through as an email.
Okay.
And I'll double check. We'll get it worked
Okay.
out. I'm pretty sure that it requires an enterprise account to make it happen.
Is it? I'm just thinking to the technology. I'm wondering why that is. It's a Zoom with the current for Pro is pretty robust. Is there something I'm missing on the technology, or is it?
Yes,
It's just
the Obvio API is restricted to enterprise accounts only. So you need access to the actual Obvio exposed API, and you have to have an enterprise account to get that access.
Is that because on Obvio's side they're only the API to the enterprise is different than the API to the Pro? Is that why?
It's how it's accessed, yeah, and it's an advanced feature.
Sure.
So that's
I think
that's
where
why.
your confusion might be coming in is Zoom Pro and Obvio Pro are 2 totally separate systems.
No, I know that. I'm
So
calling Obvio Pro. I don't know what else to call.
Right. It is the Pro edition that you have.
Yeah.
But to connect up a event, there's a whole API access layer that's enterprise only in order to access, not just connecting over to Zoom, but connecting truly into Obvio to add attendees and all the other stuff that you would want to do.
I got you. I'm thinking from an API perspective. I mean, when I say API,
So Heather, it's a business decision as to how we do all of our.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
How we do all the different products, and it's consistent when you look at subscription services that some of more advanced features are in the higher payment plans. And so there's an extra support layer, and there's more that's going on. And so one of those things is that we don't have in the Pro, we don't have other systems using the API unless it's an enterprise account. So that's how it works.
Okay. Yeah, Bill, that makes more sense. I understand.
Now you can upgrade for just the month, right?
Oh, I can.
Well, I just said that.
That's a big deal.
You're
I think
on
right now it's like $4,000, right? And I'm on the 1,000, so that's just a big.
If you're on a yearly plan, yeah. So,
okay. Well, that's why I was asking. If it's a technical.
If it could be a way around it where we could switch your account to monthly, and then you could upgrade for the month or the 2 months or whatever it is, and then drop it back down to Pro. So if you wanted to do that, then send us an email and we can explore doing that for you.
So, super quick question, because I did, and from what I understand, on the account that I'm on, Pro, I call it Pro, is there are some features of a event that are available, but the API push is what I understood is the advanced. Is that right? Or is it incorrect?
Uh, um, So
don't know.
just say that again. Is there there's a
Yeah.
feature that you're used to or something in enterprise? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so from what I understood, if I connected to a event with my current account on Obvio, that there are some features with a event that will work, but the main one that will not work currently is that API push through.
The main thing is that it won't be able to join your event and start it and do all of that.
It won't do that.
So it can't do the scheduling. Yeah, all that.
Okay. All right. So yeah,
Yeah.
that needs the API, that needs the technology API connection.
Correct.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that was really my only question. I wanted to get that connected and start playing with it as an option.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I think the best thing we can offer right now is monthly. I did just get it confirmed from our team. I did just ask the question, and it is absolutely as Justin was saying. It is only an enterprise feature.
Okay,
So
I'll email you guys. Yeah.
yeah, if you want to do the monthly thing, then we can make that happen.
Or that. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, that's the only change I have. It looks like I haven't been here for a while because I'm in like 2 other things and they're the exact same Wednesday call. On my Wednesday, I have like 3 things at the same time.
Right.
So it's like, wow, everything's at this exact time. But it looks like you guys have some great new features with Marketplace, and I haven't been here.
Have a little play.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play around with it. So it's exciting. All right. Well, thank you guys. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
I don't know about Merry Christmas. We're done.
Yeah.
That's done.
It's done. It's
But
over.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. You can say for as long as you haven't seen the person this year.
It's true.
All right, Heather. What else have we got here?
We have a question from Tamara. She wants
I
to
may
know.
have answered it for myself, but
Oh,
go for
I'm
it.
sorry.
Tamara.
No, it's okay.
Never mind.
Hey there. Happy New Year.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
No, I was wondering because I'm switching one of my events over to more long term, but I want to collect more data. But it sounds like I can just do that in Marketplace. My idea was to give them their sign up link and then use the waiver sheet as a form and have them fill out that form and collect it that way. But is it easier to do it in Marketplace, or is either one work?
No, well, it depends, right? Because it depends on the where they are in the chain. So at the moment, if they already are signed up, then they can't go back to the purchase page to add any data. So, and if they're just signing up, they are signing up, and you want extra data. Here's the thing. I think. Yeah, go.
No, I was gonna say it's the same group of people. What I've done in the past, because I liked having data individually, is I do a writing retreat every second Saturday. It's a very small group of people, and I send them a thing that says, "Hey, time to register." They register for a brand new duplicate of the event that was there the day before. So they're used to getting that registration link. But I kind of want, what I found is that I lost growth because this is kind of the group is the filter. So it's an invite only group, but they only invite people they would want to spend time with. And so what happened is they lost the ability because it was a different link every time to bring people into the group. So the group just kind of was totally robust. Same groups of people came in, but it just had no growth. And so I realized I have to do it a different way this year. So I'm getting ready to send out the link for January. And I thought, why don't we just collect the data I need up front, and then we can have some growth in there. I'm not very worried about it getting out into the world and any of that. Like, it's small enough that I have a lot of control over who I'm there 100% of the time. I can just kick them out. But I could solve that problem if it came up to it, but I don't think it's going to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Look, I think the step 2, like the waiver form, is a really great way of doing it, right?
Great.
Because it's highly customizable, right? Because you can create whatever questions and data that you want to capture. They will only ever have to do it once, right? It will only be the first time that they go into it. And the thing that I like as well is that I think about this even particularly for the events that are free, or technically they're free, that just getting people, if you were sending something out for people to sign up to,
right?
What I like is just asking for the bare minimum, the first, the last name, and their email.
Yeah.
And now you've got them, right? You've got their data, you've got at least their contact, and then when they go to join, you want to ask them a bit more information, so that you've made it really easy for them right up front.
Yeah.
And then it's just a little bit harder the first time they join.
And then after that, it's just they click that link and it gets to their dashboard. Their dashboard's always available to them and all that stuff. And then I can do the magic of making links go and come as I want to.
Exactly. Yeah. So
awesome.
I think unless you are selling tickets, you would do it through the purchase page. If you're not selling tickets, then but you do want extra data, then the way you're talking about it is the way to do it. That's the best way to do it.
Okay. Cool.
And so, because then, because you might want to ask some other questions other than just their
yeah. I mean, I ideally want to ask, like, who recommended them, so that we can just track that part of it when they show up, type of thing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All the best for that. No worries. Cool. What's next, Heather?
Jane is commenting in the Zoom chat. She needs help just setting up her Stripe to her Obvio for Marketplace, if we want to walk her through that.
Okay. Yeah. Hello, Jane. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
I was waiting on Kevin to go. Did he not need to go? He had his hand up.
Kev.
Well, you're up, Jane, so we're going to let you go.
That's right.
Oh,
Kevin's
all right. Hang on a
Kevin's
second.
had some issues.
Let me find Obvio. Hang on one second. Obvio, here it is. Okay, that's OB.
So the first thing you could do is
let me get on screen share, okay? Screen share. All right, so I've been working on OB. Hang on. Please hang tight. Okay, here we go. I'll go to.
So just first, Jane, you could just go to Stripe and not Obvio first. Just go directly to Stripe.
Well, Stripe. Somewhere already has Stripe on here. Is that good?
So Jane, from that organization where it says Dr. Jane Learning in the upper right.
Yeah.
You click the little drop down and go to settings.
Okay.
And scroll down. You should see a little Stripe section. You need to click on the Stripe Connect button.
Yeah.
And this is going, if you scroll down a little more.
That's all fine.
I'm going to ask you for the email. Yeah, she said she knew all this, Grant, in the chats. And so now you're in the car, so probably didn't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, proceed. Now what do I do? Submit?
Submit.
So we tried doing it. Oh, I got to put my password in there.
Yep, for your Stripe account.
Now why won't it let me put my password in there?
You got to click on the password box.
Click on what?
Click on the password box.
Oh, this one. Oh, I gotcha. Let's see if this works. May not. Well, code. Where's my code going to come?
Whatever phone number ends in 9898.
To the phone.
Yeah. Okay. So let me watch. Let me look. Oh, 723-336. 723-367. Okay. All right. Then what do I do?
Give it a moment. It should be processing.
Oh, there we go. I don't know why we couldn't do this.
And I assume you want to click on the top one, probably, since that's probably already your business.
Yeah, I'm on. I have high ticket and ClickFunnels. Wait, create new business, or I don't know.
Yeah, this is what I was concerned about. So, are you wanting to create a new business in
No,
Stripe?
I still have the same one, but I have not. I don't have this hooked up to. I don't have Stripe hooked up to my Dr. Jane Learning. I don't think.
So since I know your grandson's been helping you, he would need to help you get
Right.
your Stripe hooked up for your Dr. Jane Learning, and then you would come back into Avio and do what we just did and log into the account. It would show then Dr. Jane Learning, and you could pick it.
So I can't do my business here.
You could finish this out if you got all the details. I'd say potentially unshare the screen because I'm not sure how much.
Laughing about Grant.
He's
You know I don't.
smiling at me because he's like, "This is where I was going to go."
Yeah, well, all I was going to do is confirm that you had an active Stripe account that was all
I have an
right
active
first.
Stripe account.
Well, yeah, kind of. As in, you've got a Stripe account that's connected and come through from ClickFunnels.
I don't know.
So, and that might be okay, but it's probably not the right business. I mean, what we're talking.
I have my same business. I think I had my same business because that was with Adam Bogue.
Okay, so we're not going to get into the specifics of your business setup, but knowing that what you've just done now is 95% of what is required to connect Obvio with Stripe. What you need to go away and do is get Stripe set up in the way that you need it. And when we're talking about Stripe, you need to think of this like banking, because it's basically it's all to do with banking. And so
I think I have my work bank set up with it. My work bank account.
Well, look, I mean, you can hit back and do the other business that was there, but I'm not sure that that's the right one. But you just have to confirm all that Stripe is happy before you even get into Obvio. You want to see that Stripe is happy, and that when you log in, you've got a dashboard and you're seeing all that, and the business is all correct, and all your bank accounts are all correct. And when that's happy, that's when you go to Obvio and you connect it in the steps you just did. It's very straightforward, and then it's done. But you've got to get Stripe set up in the way that you want it first. And that's a Stripe. That's a Stripe.
If it's set up already, like that way. I think it already is. I think I've.
So that's it.
If you need, find it?
If you need support with Stripe, then talk with Stripe.
Okay.
Contact their customer service.
So do I go stripe.com?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
No worries. Yeah. And then once Stripe is all looking all right, and it's not saying you need to do this before this and whatever.
Okay.
Once you've got all that done, then connect it with Obvio, and it'll be very straightforward.
All right. Thank you.
Cool. No worries.
Thank you. Oh,
all right.
I'm going to stop share.
What's next?
Kevin.
Okay, I'm back again. All right.
You are back.
I'm back again. Okay, so I just a couple of questions. Hopefully they might be quick. The first one is I want to have an event. And what I'm going to do is open up the floor so people can come in, and then I'm going to have maybe like a DJ that's going to be playing live on air.
Okay.
For the pre-show. Close the curtains up on them. Then I'm going to open up the curtains and the show is going to start. Then after the show is finished, after whatever the presentation, all that is done, I want to have a VIP after event. Do I need to have more than 2 Zooms open up to do that? Or how would I do that?
Yeah, it depends on how you want to handle the people that are not VIP. The easiest way is is to be able to have two Zooms, and essentially you can leave all of your non-VIPs, in a Zoom, and then you start your next VIP meeting and you move there.
Well,
so
do they have to do anything to go to it, or can I like drag them from one event to the new event? No.
No. So your VIPs would need to either leave Zoom or you're taking them back to the dashboard. This is just a tip for people. I'm just putting in the chat. See, I just posted a link to the dashboard, and because everyone who's in that Zoom meeting is already logged into Obvio, when you post the link like that in the chat, if you click on that, everyone that clicks on that will go to the dashboard and they'll be logged in, right?
Right.
So this can be a helpful tip often for people that are not familiar with multitasking windows and things on their computer, and minimizing Zoom or alt tabbing or command tabbing to get back to the browser window. If they're not familiar with that, this is a sort of a shortcut way of getting them back to the dashboard, right? So you can post your link, your Obvio domain name with the slug or the domain or the subdomain. You post that as a chat, and now all of your attendees can click that if they need help getting back to the dashboard. And now your VIPs can click on the VIP link, and the vast majority of people, what will happen is it'll say, do you want to leave and join? Because they were still connected to the other Zoom meeting.
Right.
Do you want to leave this meeting and join the VIP meeting? Zoom will say, do you want to leave and join? Click yes. There's an enterprise feature, or for some people with Zoom, that can allow to be joined to multiple Zoom meetings at the same time, and it's unlikely, it's very rare that you get someone that can do that. And if they can do that, they often know how to leave one meeting and join the next.
Okay, so
generally for most people, it's going to say leave and join, and that's the easiest way to get people to go from the main event to a VIP event.
Okay, so then this is going to be, I guess, what the easiest way that I'm thinking that has to do it is do the VIP early, so we can allow them access early, and then allow general admission to come in afterwards.
Yeah, you've got to manage how do you stop general admission coming in early.
Right. How do I start
using the same
early?
If you're using the same Zoom meeting, then yeah, you've got to think about how you do that.
Could the VIPs be in its own separate room? Like I could have a breakout room for VIPs in the same meeting?
So that's right. I was going to mention that too. So if you're not managing hundreds of people, then a breakout room is a way to do it. You just got to remember that you can't record, you can't cloud record in a breakout meeting, in a breakout room. So if you're okay with that, that's fine. Or you want that recorded, then you kind of want it to be in the main Zoom meeting.
Well, I need to work through all that, but I was planning on having, backup recordings. Number one is to have running everything through ATEM ISO, Extreme ISO. That's how I was going to do some of the stuff.
Okay.
And then going out from them into a Sonic card, a Black Magic card, to take at least 4 to record back to that too, because I think I'm not going to have more than maybe 4 links available that I need to record at one time. I need to still work that out. I just wanted to see the best ways to do it is really do the VIP up front, put them in the breakout room, and then
How many
everybody be in the general admission floor before we let them in the room.
How many attendees are you expecting?
Let's just say 50. Yeah. But no, let's say 100. Let's say 100 people. And out of that 100, maybe 20 is going to be VIP.
Right. And you're hosting the event, right? Like you're delivering all the content and everything?
Yeah, I'm hosting the event. And I'm hosting the event.
And you're teching it.
And I'm taking it. Yeah. I know this. I'm just trying to work out the little things of this first. I'm doing a small scale first. Is really, I'm going to be hosting the event and teching everything until I can get my other partners up on this. Really my daughter. That's really what it comes down to. I can get her up on this. And then, I'll have performers, like that's what I said. One is going to be, I'll have a DJ. He's coming in from his house. And then I'm going to actually have an actual band that's going to be performing. And they're going to coming from a different location. And I'm trying to figure out how to make them all come in so I can show the show right. The DJ beforehand, or now it's going to be afterwards. They'll be in at the end, so everybody can hear that. But then the VIP would be the band play first. After the band plays, then I'll open up the floor to everybody, then have the actual show in whatever the presentation is going to be, then have the DJ come in on the end before I close up Zoom.
Yeah, okay. How interactive is it going to be with the band?
Well, that's the other part that I'm working on. I want to have the band be able to see the Zoom participants. So at the location, I want to have a couple of big monitors, TVs set up so they can see it. Plus, they'll have a small in-person event right there.
Oh, okay. So it's hybrid.
Somewhat hybrid. If it won't be hybrid until I can do everything. Right now it's just I'm going to try it out with a couple of single performers doing a couple of songs, and that's going to be it. In and out, so I can get that going. Then once I have that ready, the goal is to being able to have the band, and then everybody, them being able to call out the different people in Zoom.
Yeah, right.
And it's I'm taking it right from you guys. You know how you do the virtual event on virtual events, where you have the person is there instead of you had one where you had a band perform. I believe it was after you had a band perform afterwards. It's the same thing. Having the band be able to see that big screen of everybody up there. But it's setting up the two systems, me at home and then the person on site there, to put up the multiple screens.
Yeah, okay. What is the event? What's the event about?
I don't know. I'm making it all up. I'm just doing this to try some stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm just doing this to try it out to see if I can get this working, because I think it might be a good product that I might be able to offer other artists to perform. So an actual virtual event, live virtual event for everyone.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So it's not like a conference or whatever. It's actually like about the bands.
Right.
Specifically. Fair enough.
At least for now. Long range, so then we'll have a day conference or something like that, about performing.
Right.
Rest of that. But for now, it's working out the technical parts to all these things.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the main challenge you're thinking about is the VIP aspect at the moment, right?
I didn't know if I need to have two different events, Zoom events for it. But now, like you said, just start the event early, and then the VIP can come in early. After that time frame, give everybody else access to come in. And they'll be coming in when the show actually opens. So the performances, let's just say the performance will run from 6 to 6:45. And then I'll open up the floor from 6:45 to 7 o'clock, which would be just letting people come in, letting the admission come in, and then the show, which actually starts at 7 o'clock.
Right. Yeah, the advantage, and Samantha, I see your question there as well. It certainly is. It's a better attendee experience, I think, to have simultaneous meetings, right? Like to have two meetings going at the same time. So, for example, when we do like a welcome lunch, for example, right? So welcome, people have just signed up to an upgraded thing. They get to come to the welcome lunch, but there's 100 people are still in the main general meeting and they're going off to lunch. But we're doing a VIP meeting. We just have a separate Zoom meeting. The general admission one is still going, and it has a countdown or whatever. There's something going on for that lunch, and then the VIP event happens totally separately. And then that finishes, and everyone goes back to their dashboard and joins general admission again. And away they go. Same with the idea of doing a pre-event for VIPs. Would be what's nice is to have still the general admission experience is that they're coming in 20 minutes before the show starts, even though your VIP event is happening at the same time.
Right.
So that your VIP changeover is like 5 minutes. You finish 5 minutes before the main session starts, gives them time to leave, join the general meeting, and now they're joining all the people that came early, right? So that's definitely the best way to do it. You just have to manage how are you getting. Firstly, who have you got as team that are sitting in those meetings to just make sure that it's all okay? Because remember, your content, you could just have one content pipe or one content stream, right? And it just joins whichever meeting it is, and that's how you're getting your content in there. Anyone else can be a Zoom host that's just holding the space open at the time, right? And then you can just move your main content pipe from one to another, and that can be a way of handling that. So this is the thing with all this stuff is that Muddy, Justin, and I we could each come up with 5 different ways of doing a particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we get asked questions like this, I try to think about what is the most straightforward approach for everyone. And that's really hard, because often what is the easiest for your attendees may not be the easiest for you, but you want it to be the easiest for the most amount of people. The most amount of people are the attendees, and so how can we make it as easy as possible for them, while maintaining some of the other features that you want to do. So sometimes we could come back and ask this same question next week, and I come up with a different approach, because I'm thinking about how we do it. But generally, I'm using the axiom: if it works big, it works small. And so I don't necessarily want to go down the line of breakout rooms and things like that, because that doesn't scale.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to think about things that I can grow with. I can grow to hundreds, to thousands. And if my system is essentially the same, it's just scaling it, then my workflow is basically the same. So now the idea of moving people from a VIP event to a main stage is the same for them then that's the type of way I want to go, where I'm using two separate Zoom meetings, one for the VIP and one for the main stage. And then we just teach people how to move from one to the other. And lots of people know how to get back to their dashboard. Some people get lost with that. So that's when we use the link in the chat. Go back to the dashboard and go back to main stage. Or vice versa. You're saying, okay, all my VIPs, we want you to go back to the dashboard and click on the VIP link that's going to be on your dashboard. It's only for VIPs. And now you get into the Zoom meeting. So there's always these different levels that we're thinking about. There's an attendee experience. How do I communicate it really well? How am I managing that technically? How's the tech team thinking about it? Now, the tech team may be you, and that's fine, but it is a role, right? And so it's a mindset of, I'm thinking technically. I'm not thinking about content. And who's delivering content. I'm just thinking about how am I getting Zoom started, how am I making sure that attendees are in there and that all of that's working. And then who is my content? How am I getting those people in? Where are they coming from and that sort of thing? And then how are we, ending that and moving everyone back? So it's kind of a bit of a diagram that you have to do with some of this stuff.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
It sounds like the best way for me to do it is to have the two meetings, so I can easily transfer those people back over. I can open and close whatever else, and then if I choose to say, okay, we're going to have something afterwards, can I have those same VIPs click this link of your VIP to come to the after hour?
Right.
I can do that. Use the same. I can't use the same meeting. No, because I have a new meeting for them because they were in a separate Zoom meeting, so I have to do Zoom meeting for them, but that's okay. I can have that set up ahead of time too, and just drop that link in there so they can click that to come back to the after hours, so to speak.
Yeah, and look, it's always possible to allow people to, if you're not managing lots of people, then you're asking, like, the general admission are leaving now. You give them 5 minutes to leave. You can see in the list of people who are the general admission, and you can, if they're still hanging around, you can push them into the Zoom waiting room, right? And so they're out, and now you're just left with your VIPs, and now they didn't have to go anywhere. They just stayed in the meeting, and now you've got an after show, right? So it's a way of doing it.
Right.
However, as I was saying about how does that scale, that doesn't scale very well, that idea. And so, it's a nicer experience, I think, and this comes back to another one of my theories of letting people leave when they want to leave rather than pushing them out.
Yeah.
So you put some music on at the end of the main stage event, they stay for as long as they want, and you've started a new event, which is, a new Zoom meeting, which is the VIP, and you bring all your people, you ask them. So you use the term transfer there. You just got to be careful on terminology, right? There is no transfer.
Right, I got it.
Yeah, but they would be moving themselves from one Zoom meeting to another. So it's a little bit of a challenging thing, but once you've got your workflow worked out, it really is amazing. It's how big virtual events work well. And if you were at a hotel and you're doing the same thing, you'd be thinking, okay, we're going to move all these people from the ballroom. We're now going to go into this breakout meeting room 5, go off all, and we'll meet you there.
Right.
It's the same type of thing.
All right, and then thank you for that. And just one more question, then I'll let you go. No, it's been a long night.
Before you get to your other question, I want to hit on one other thing real quick. 'Cause we talked terminology. It's not another Zoom meeting. It's another Zoom area. So you'll have a main stage area and a VIP area, and your button just points to the VIP area. The whole time they just click on that same button. You don't have to go create a meeting every time you want to open it. You just reopen up the VIP area, restart the Zoom that's under there, because your attendees never know the Zoom link. They just have the button in Obvio to get to whatever area if you're using the Zooms within Obvio, which I assume you would.
Yes. Okay, that's good. That makes it even easier. That makes it even smarter. Then click, just open up that area, and then allow them to allow them to go to that room. As the transition.
Yep.
I know.
And if you're adding tags and stuff to the attendees or groups to some way designate them under the attendees list, then you can use the visibility rules as well for the button so that only the VIPs would ever even see that VIP button.
And that's exactly what I would want to do. Only that they would see it, and then they can click right into it and then move into that room.
Perfect.
All right.
So next question.
So the next question is, again, these are all the things I'm trying to work out in my head. So if I have an event going on, and I'll say what it is, it's going to be like a fashion show. It's going to be a fashion show with these different people coming on stage doing their stuff. They'll be showing their wares, whatever else. I want to have a commentary room or a breakout room with other designers in there talking about, kind of giving a blow by blow of what it looks like, what is going on, and what they think of the fashion while that is happening at the same time. So they're able to see the show, but they're in a separate room talking about that.
Oh, yes.
Is that possible, or what's the problem with doing?
So, it's not a built-in functionality with Zoom to be able to be in two places at once. In a breakout room or in a main stage.
So again, the main stage is going on, and they're like kind of off to the side, giving a commentary about what they see.
But you don't want everyone to hear that commentary. Only people that want to hear it.
If they want to hear it, they can go into that breakout room to hear what that panel was saying.
Yeah. So the way that I would do that is I would probably use interpretation in Zoom. So think of it as another language.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so the default language, or English, is just the main show with music and things.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can anyone who wants to can choose the interpretation option and choose a language, and you can have custom names for languages. So the language would be commentary or designer commentary or something like that.
Right.
They click on that, and now they can hear the commentary
without having to go into the room. They just hear the.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha.
The audio just changes slightly. They still hear quietly the audio behind. The tricky thing is that however many people you want to be on that panel, you have to make them interpreters to be able to do that. So it's possible. This is an example of the first thing I came up with the way to do it, and I think it could work. But you could also just do a totally separate Zoom meeting that has the same content in it, and now from the dashboard on Obvio, you're choosing whether you want to listen to commentary or not. And now you've just got a separate Zoom meeting, and they're just talking in there. That's an even easier approach. But it's easier in one way and a little bit trickier in another, because you've got to get your content into two separate Zoom meetings now. So
you could do it as a self-selected breakout room where your panel is in there, but you'd have to find a way to also pipe in your main room into that room. So if you have a little bit more hardware tech on the other side, then it could all be done in the same meeting.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
And great point before, Tamara, about the Gen Pop. People who were in a Zoom, they were in a breakout room, they left, and then they just come back and they're in the main session, and you've got to have someone manage that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's all doable. I like the way you're thinking, Kevin. you just need to find a way to build out your team and stuff to be able to have, because what you're wanting to achieve, I think you kind of want 3 or 4 people doing it with you.
Yes, I will.
So,
that's why I'm doing it real small, so I can work out all the kinks or what I think the kinks are, and then keep building on the team with it, and that we're all there.
Yeah. At some point, you can't play 3-on-3 basketball if there's only one on your team.
That's right. Yeah, got you.
And you're not going to work out how to play 3-on-3 until you've got 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So it's a little tricky. I get what you're saying, and you've got to work out some things, but at some point you've got to bite the bullet and see. You need to have someone sitting in that seat to know what the issues are and how to manage some of that.
Yeah.
So, but all the best with it. You're asking all the right questions and working out the stuff. It's cool.
Thank you.
Really cool stuff. Yeah. Right. Heather?
We don't have any more questions that have come through the dashboard.
I wasn't even sure we were going to get, there was the leap call on. I wasn't sure we were going to get much today, but we managed to fill in 2 hours. Any other last minute burning questions? No. Great. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for kicking off the year with this one, with some good questions and some challenging stuff. We'll be back to Wednesday at 5 p.m. Sorry, Kat, do you want someone to say something?
Yeah, I was just wondering, do you think that they would get to take a look at that the next day?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Let me see. And Justin, if you could
Short
follow
answer
up with
is
that a little
probably
bit.
not till next week.
Well, yeah, it is a little bit tricky with who we've
Most
got
of them are
around.
still on holiday, so we're running a little bit late until Monday. But I'll make sure it gets done.
Yeah, we'll have another little play, and just see what's going on there. It does seem odd. Something's not quite right. I'm not sure that we've got a little workaround, but there might be something that we can do. I'll have a little look.
I'll just look for an email from you then. Is that right?
Yeah, if you could just send an email through, then that will start the ticket, and then I can go back.
That's Grant at Obvio.
No, sorry. Do help at obv.io.
Okay, help at obv. Okay.
Yep. Sweet. Thank you, everyone. So we'll be back on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. That will be next week. And you can, in the meantime, if you need to, you can send an email, as Kat is, help@obv.io. And of course, there's the Facebook group as well, that gets a few people answering questions as well, not just Obvio. So great.
Okay,
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Kevin, you still in here?
Yeah, hey Sam, I just seen your note. I just seen it. I was going to say, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm still. No, yeah, I'm not in leap. I had been. I had when they first came out with this. I had came in. I guess what they call it, the founders, whatever else. I was a part of that